Alright, we're looking at number 3. Number 3 wants us to determine if the triangles are similar. We have two triangles here. So our first triangle is this one, which we're going to redraw. So our first triangle is this small one, which is W, X, T, 28 and 30. And then our larger triangle is Y, X, Z. So YXZ, we have a length of XY, which is 35. And then we do have length of 38. 35, 38. Alright, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to determine how they're similar. Well, we know that these are going to most likely be similar by side angle side because they share x. Angle x is always going to be equal to angle x. Now we need to create two ratios. So the first we're going to compare the small, we're going to create a proportion comparing the smallest to the longest. We're going to compare the smallest to the longest. So the smallest here on this triangle is 28, so XW. Here, the smallest would be XY. So we're going to create a ratio using those. Next, we're going to create a ratio between the longest, which is XT, and XZ, which is the longest. Just like the last problem, we're going to go left to right. And if you're still confused of what's going on, we're just using the same triangles, but we just broke them out over here. Because WTX is just this WTX is that triangle, and YXZ is that triangle. And they both share the angle X. So the first thing we're going to do is compare the smallest. So left to right, we're doing 28 over 35 is equal to 30 over 38. So what we're first going to do is we're going to try the non-calculator way this time. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to break these numbers up into factors and then simplify. So what we have here is 28. So what numbers go into 28? Well, you could say 2 and 14. And then 14 could be broken down to 2 and 7. And as you can see, 28 has been broken down to all prime numbers. So now we're going to break down 35. 35 can be broken down to 7 and 5. So 7's prime, 5's prime. And we're going to do the same thing to 30 and then 38. And then we're going to rewrite our ratios to simplify. So what we're going to start off with is do the following. We're going to do 30 can be broken up to 2 and 15, and 15 can be broken up to 3 and 5. And then 38 can be broken down to, I think it's 2 and 19. Yeah, 2 and 19. 19 is prime, 2 is prime. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to rewrite these numbers as prime numbers. So 28 is now known as 2 times 2 times 7 all over 7 times 5 is equal to 30, which is going to be 2 times 3 times 5 all over 2 times 19. So what we're first going to do is simplify them. 7s will cross out, the 2's will cross out, so we're left off with 4 over 5 is equal to 15 over 19. As you can see right here, 15 over 19 is not the same as 4 over 5. Since they're not the same, your answer for this would be not similar. So these two triangles are not similar because these right here are not the same. And if you want to see it on the calculator, they're not similar because 4 divided by 5 will give you 0.8. But then 15 divided by 19 gives you 0.78 or 0.79. So it's off by 1/100th. So there you have it. These two triangles are not similar.